Okay, so this session is going to be dedicated to people who run, but we can all benefit from the exercises. They're not any different than normal exercises, but I had quite a few questions about warm-up for runners and how to exercise. So it's a session you can do to strengthen and improve your running. Also, at the beginning of the session, we're going to do a warm-up. You can do just the warm-up part before you go for a run. So hopefully that will help you. We're going to start with O4 position, and if you have a yoga block or maybe a towel or something to elevate one knee, that will be great. If not, that's okay. So we're going to put the yoga block, and then we're going to get one knee on the top. I'm going to go with my left knee on the top of the yoga block. And then I'm going to position my hands as normal, just hands under my shoulders. And when we do that, we kind of tend to shift to the opposite side. So I will ask you to keep your body weight and especially your hips slightly shifted towards the knee which is elevated. In my case, it's my left knee. I'm just going to take a few breaths here. If you want, you can keep your feet relaxed, or you can put your toes down on the ground. It's absolutely fine. And you might find that your left knee is slightly forward as well, so you can level up this if you can. Right, so you feel like your body weight is forward above your arms. You want to have your body weight slightly shifted to the elevated knee. If you don't have one knee elevated, maybe just shift your body weight tiny bit towards one leg. Chin up, and we're going to take a few breaths here. So we're going to inhale here, and we're going to exhale. So we have a tiny bit of hip shift here. You might feel a little stretch around your pelvis area, around your glutes. 3 more breaths in that position. Two more. One more time. And then what you're going to do is you're going to stretch your opposite arm forward. So if you have your left knee elevated, we're going to get slightly forward with the right hand. We're going to take a nice good inhale, and we're going to shift the hips back towards the heels. You don't need to sit all the way down. We're going to inhale here, and we're going to exhale forward. Inhale back, lowering the elbows down towards the ground. Exhale forward. Think about your pelvis is slightly tucking, so it's not, tailbone is not going up towards the sky, it's kind of moving down towards the floor. Breathe in, breathe out. One more time, breathe in, breathe out. Okay, so swap sides now, and you put the yoga block or book or towel under your right knee, or change sides if you started with your right knee. Again, think about you shift your body weight slightly forward, so you're not sitting, your hips are not behind your knees, they're slightly forward, so you want a nice good line between your knee and the hip. Your body weight is above your hands, and again, you want to try to shift your body weight towards the block. Or if you don't have an elevated knee, you can just shift the weight towards the opposite hip. 4 breaths again. Breathing into the chest, rib cage, and exhale. Nice, good. Exhale again. 2 more. 1 more time. Nice one. So you're going to stretch your opposite hand slightly forward. And again, we're going to sit back, we're going to inhale, and we're going to exhale. Chin slightly open, make sure you're not crunching, you're not side bending, your sides are nice and straight. We're going to inhale back, exhale forward. 2 more, inhale back, exhale forward. Last time. And rest. Now remove the block to the side, we don't need it for now. And then you're going to get into your hands and knee position. We're going to put the toes down on the ground. And then I want you to see if you can elevate your knees off the ground. If not, keep them down on the ground. So from here, we're gonna press the hands and we're gonna stretch through the arms and we're gonna push our hips back and down. And knees gonna stay slightly softer, but we're gonna have like heels down. Then we're gonna pedal here. We're gonna get one knee extended and the opposite knee is gonna bend. And we're gonna do this for 10. Breathing in, breathing out, pushing the floor away from you. Don't worry if you can't reach the floor with your heels. Going for another 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Then we're going to soften both knees. We're going to go forward and down into bear plank position or knees down on the ground. And we're going to do it again. We're going to push the floor away from us. And we're going to pedal for another 10. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. We're going to go all the way forward and down, and then I want you to put one leg forward and one knee on the ground. And here you can use your socks. Again, you can do that without socks, but they might help you. So 2 options. If you're having a super high arch, you kind of have a look and know that your foot is really high arch and really rigid. I want you to put one of your socks under your arch. If your arch looks normal or your foot looks a little bit more flatter, I want you to put your socks one under your toes and one under your heel. And again, you can do that without them. So it's absolutely fine if you don't use it. So we have like one leg forward, the other knee is down, and we're gonna get that kind of nice, good stack. So we're gonna kind of shift the weight slightly back. We're gonna get a little bit leaning back. So what I want you to do, I want you to start bending that knee. So imagine your knee is pulling you forward and you're allowing your body weight to sink forward, and you're gonna feel like how you're loading your foot. I want you to keep heel heavy and your toes are relaxed, okay? And then on the way back, we're gonna pull and rotate the pelvis a bit towards that front leg. Then we're gonna go forward and we're gonna open the pelvis a little bit, almost like you're doing, you can even work with the arms if you want. And then on the way back, we're gonna kind of move the arms in the opposite direction. So we're gonna reach with the opposite arm. Okay, let's swap arms. Reaching forward, loading that foot, nice relaxed toes, and then reaching in the opposite direction. Or you can do it like a roll. You can stretch, 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 pull with the opposite elbow, and then move to the opposite direction. Make sure your body stay nice and stuck, like kind of traveling with the knee. You might feel nice, good, warm in your kind of hamstrings, glutes on that side. We're gonna do one more. I'm already getting warm. And then we're gonna change sides. So we're gonna do exactly the same on the opposite side. And again, observe your foot, because one side might be quite high arch, but then one side might be a flatter foot. So make sure you just kind of observe. Again, you can do it body weight, you don't need anything, but you can use the socks just for a little bit of support. If the arch is super high, put a sock under the arch, and then maybe under the toes. If the foot is kind of looks more like a normal arch or like very flat, put one sock under the toes, one under the heel. Same position. We're gonna start driving the knee forward. You're allowing the hips to go forward, and you can reach forward, say arm, and then you're gonna pull with the arm back, and you're gonna kind of pull with the heel. We're reaching forward, we're allowing that knee to go slightly in towards the big toe. Pelvis is opening to the left, and you might find that one side, to the away from the front leg, because you might not be on the right foot right now. Forward, and then pull back. So you're driving the knee forward, and then you're pulling with a hip and your heel. And we're basically creating a little arch when we pull, and then we're allowing the arch to relax and load on the way forward. We're gonna do 2 more. Hopefully you feel your glutes working a little bit, knees should be warming up, and rest. Good, so put the socks away. You can always do this, another set, when you're just going for a run, because we're doing a full workout today, we don't need that. Then we're going to go into nice and tall position, and you're going to have your left leg slightly forward, and the right toes are just in line with your left heel. Soften both knees. We've done this before. So I want you to find your foot, the front of the foot. Again, you can use socks if you feel like you're very wobbly. If you have a very high arch, you can put the sock under the arch. If it's very flat foot, you can have a sock under your toes. And then from here, we're going to reach down, but we're going to bend the knee slightly forward, okay? And then reach down. Once you reach in that position, I want that front knee to be pushing forward. I don't want you to extend your knee. So I want your front knee to be bent. Good. And then see if you can elevate your back heel. So that's going to push even more forward. Make sure you're not squeezing with the toes. And then you can stay in that position. Feeling that mid-foot loading. If that's easy, elevate your heel off the ground on the left side as well. But make sure your knee is pointing forward. Okay, so your leg might start shaking. That's okay. Just breathe here. And you're going to hold it as long as you can. Today we're going to hold for 10, but otherwise you can hold as long as your body allows you to do that. Okay, let's hold for another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then you're going up. So you're going to start feeling the muscle shaking, the leg is shaking, and that's fine. What it's doing is your legs, your muscles trying to work in coordination. And this is what you want when you go outside for a run or walk. Okay, so right foot forward, left behind again, 1 step difference. Both knees softer, and you're going to lean forward and reach. You don't need to go super low. You're going to bend back knee a little bit more and lift your heel. That's going to shift you a little bit more forward. Make sure your front knees bent. If that feels easy, for some people that will be very intense already for the calf, hamstrings, glutes, so you stay there. If you can, elevate your front heel as well. Just make sure that front knee stay bent, reach. If you feel like you're leaning too much to that leg, maybe reach just with the opposite arm or both arms down. And again, you're going to feel like the whole leg starts shaking. Just the body is figuring out how to use all the muscles around the knee in coordination. We're going to hold it for another 10. Again, if you're doing this on your own, just hold it as long as your body allows you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slowly going up. Good job, yes. Shaking. But that's going to be good after that. Now, we're going to do a little bit more dynamic. So what I want you to do is step forward with one leg and then the other leg is back. You don't need to lunge. You just have to have a soft knees, but kind of quad toe with your upper body. So 2 options. We want to go back and forward, but front leg can be flat on the ground if your balance is not great. But if you can, I want you to elevate just a little bit your heel, not so much. What we're trying to do is keep that knee bent. So we're going to inhale, move your opposite arm forward, so we're kind of like in that running position. And then I want you to step forward and lock your hips. So I'm going to go from the front. So you're going to step back, slightly leaning forward, not so much. Front knee is bent. Heel can be on the ground or off the ground if you have a good balance. Then we're going to push forward and we're going to extend that hip. But the knee stays slightly bent, okay? So you're not changing much the position of your knee. Then we step back, extend. Step back, extend. So we're extending the hip, leg is getting longer, and then we kind of bend knee, bend hip. Okay, so I'm going to go sideways as well, so you can see it from both. Back heel is tiny bit elevated. Nice, breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. Breathe in, breathe out. shift your hips slightly back, so the body weight is a little bit back towards the heel, and then it's going forward towards the front of the foot. Make sure you're not lifting your heels super high, okay? So we want to be like just a little bit like the running. 2 more on that side. 1 more. And you might say, why do I need to do this? I'm not a runner. Well, we need exactly the same things when we're walking, so it's still good. Okay, so let's do the other side. One arm forward, the other one slightly back, leaning a little bit forward. You don't need to be too low. And then lift your heel if you can. If not, keep the heel down on the ground. Breathe in, breathe out. Loading the other leg, extending the back, stepping back. Nice one. Make sure you're on the heel, on your big toe, the ball of the big toe, and then the little as well. Flexion, so slightly leaning. Extension, nice toe, front hip is extended. Good. 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice one. So all this is warming all the muscles because you need all of them when you're running. And then final one, we're gonna get a little bit more cows. So 2 options, easy, just bouncing on the spot, a little bit harder, nice bouncy, trying to use the ball of your foot to lift you up and down. If you can't jump, for whatever reason, you can just do your calf raises, but just make sure you find your tempo, okay? So it's kind of same tempo all the time, you're not doing one up and then very slow on the next one. Okay, very bouncy, whatever you're doing, even if you're not jumping. We're gonna do it for another 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. Okay, grab some water. So